Hello everybody, welcome to Yoga for Self-Love with Kim. I am Kim. This will be a short, slow flow Vinyasa practice today with a focus on opening through the chest and the arms and the armpits and the front body, and we'll bring in some back bends and make it a little bit energizing. You might want a couple of blocks for the practice, so grab your yoga blocks and bring yourself to your mat. We will begin in Shavasana. So come down onto your back, find your Shavasana, grab any support you like. If you like a bolster under the knees or a blanket behind your head or a little neck roll behind the back of your neck, feel free to take what you need here. Could bend the knees if you like, bring the feet to the mat, or you can extend the legs down the mat. Feet to the outer corners, let the feet roll in or out, whichever way they want to go. Arms out to the sides, find some space in the armpits, or you could bring one hand to heart, one hand to belly. Find what feels good for you, and if it feels okay, you can close your eyes, otherwise find a soft gaze. And just allow yourself to land. We'll take a moment here to pause, to stop, before we get started. Take a moment to land, to let your body relax, let your back body sink into the earth. Let go of any effort for the moment. Send your awareness and your breath through your body. And give any tight or sticky spots, send those areas permission to let go of their grip, to relax, to let go. And take a moment to check in with yourself here and notice how you feel. What do you bring to the mat with you today? How does your mind feel? What is your emotional tone? How does your body feel? And how does your energy feel today? As always, no judgment, just get curious. And I invite you to bring in the intention to be gentle, kind, patient, loving, and compassionate with yourself as you move through this practice. And now begin to invite some gentle movement into your body. You can flutter the eyes open if you like, or you could keep them closed a little longer. Begin to wiggle the fingers and the toes, maybe roll the wrists and the ankles. Yawn, sigh, wiggle, stretch. Bring your legs together and reach your arms up overhead, stretching the whole body, long fingers to toes. And then let that all relax. Bring the arms out to the sides. And begin to roll over onto the right side. And as you do that, lift up your left leg. Bring it over to the right side. Reach out through that left foot and out through that left hand. And then begin to pick up the left foot, reach it down towards the corner of the mat. So your left foot is at a little bit of an angle here, maybe a 45-degree angle, not coming all the way down towards the bottom of the mat, just sort of hanging out here. And then reach your left arm up. So your left foot and your left arm are reaching away from each other. Reach out through the foot, reach out through that left hand, the fingers. For me, I get such a great sensation of opening through my left armpit here and across my chest. And then release that, roll over onto your back. Arms out to the sides again. And then we'll roll over onto the left side, reach that right leg out to the left. Reach that right foot, right arm, right hand away from each other. And then begin to pick up the right foot, sweep it down a little bit at that 45-ish degree angle, and reach that right arm up. Reach that right hand and the right foot away from each other. And then you can release that, roll yourself over onto your back, reach the arms out to the sides again, and then cross your arms over your chest. Open the arms back out to the sides, cross the arms in the other direction, so the other arm on top, Then take the arms alongside you, draw your knees into your chest. Give yourself a little rock from side to side. And then bring it to center. And then find your way up into a seated position. If it works for you, you can rock and roll yourself up. Maybe give yourself a few little rolls along the spine. And bring yourself up to a seated position. Then take the hands forward. Step yourself back. Now let's bring it to the back of the mat, finding a wide knee child's pose. So take the knees wide, bring the big toes towards each other behind you. Send your bum back to your heels. Give your hips a little rock. And then bring the hips to center. And then we'll thread the right arm under the chest. Take the right temple or ear or cheek down to the mat. You could come up onto the left finger pads. And then we'll plant the left palm, pluck that right arm out from under the chest. Bring that right hand down to the mat, then thread the left arm underneath your chest. Come down onto the outer left arm, left cheek, temple. And then maybe roll up onto your right finger pads. And then plant the right palm, pluck that left arm out, bring yourself to center, draw the knees together, coming into Vajrasana or Thunderbolt pose. And then we'll lift the arms up, cactus the arms, lift your heart. Curl yourself in, bring the forearms and the arms together. Again, open up the arms, cactus the arms, lift your heart. And then bring the arms, forearms together. One more time, open up the arms, cactus the arms, lift your heart. Curl yourself back in, arms come back together. And then bring yourself back up to your starting point. We'll take the arms out to the side and begin to circle the arms back in some little circles. Gradually making your circles a little bit bigger. And then make the circle smaller again. Until you come to stillness, and then we'll switch the direction of the circle. Circle the arms forward, starting with small circles, and then making the circles bigger. And then bringing the circles smaller again. Finding some stillness. And then take hands to the hips. We'll come up to stand on the knees. Reach your right arm up along your ear. Bend that right elbow. Bring that right hand in between shoulder blades. And left hand comes around to grab a hold of that right elbow. Pull it in towards the midline. Stay here, or reach your left hand around behind you. Bend your elbow. Reach the left hand up to meet the right. Maybe the hands meet or just reach towards each other. Right elbow reaches up. Left elbow reaches down. And then release the arms and then switch. Reach that left arm up along the ear. Bend that left elbow. Bring that hand in between shoulder blades. Right hand comes around to grab a hold of that left arm. Pull it in towards the midline and stay with this. Or reach the right hand around behind you. Bend that elbow. Reach the fingers towards each other. And then release your hands. Give yourself a few little shoulder shrugs or shoulder circles. And then we'll take the hands around to rest on the low back. You can point the fingers up or down, in or out, whichever way feels best for you. Hug the elbows in towards each other. Lift your heart up. And then you can stay here, or if it's available, maybe you begin to reach the hands back for the heels. You could tuck the toes under here so the heels come up a little bit higher. And Then if you have your hands on your heels, you can walk your hands back to the low back, hug in through the inner legs, lift yourself back up to your starting point. Let's do that one more time. Hands press into the low back, elbows hug in, heart begins to lift. Maybe the gaze a little bit. You stay here and begin to reach the hands back for the heels again. Radiating the pelvis forward. And then hug in through the inner legs. Bring the hands back to the low back. Lift yourself up. Come back to sit on heels again, back through our Vajrasana, and then we'll slide ourselves down onto our belly. Bring the hands forward, forearms to the mat. Spread the fingers wide, press into fingers, toes, pubic bone. Isometrically draw the hands and the arms back towards you as you pull the heart forward. Lift the gaze, finding our Sphinx pose. And then take hands under shoulders. Hug elbows in, lift your heart up, baby cobra. Release down. And then press into the hands, lift the heart up again. Come through your baby cobra or your full cobra. Release it down. Now draw your toes in towards your bum. Hug elbows in. And again, lift your heart up. Cobra with the knees bent here. And then release yourself down. Press yourself back into Vajrasana. And then we'll take the hands. Actually, let's come up onto the knees again. We'll step the right foot forward, coming into a low lunge. Reach the arms up. And then clasp hands behind you. Soft elbows. You can begin to straighten the arms a little bit. Pull the hands off the back. Hold it here or release the hands. Begin to draw that left foot up towards your bum and reach back for the foot or the ankle. And then release the hands. Draw that right foot back to where it came from. And then we'll root into that right foot. Begin to pluck that left foot out from under you. Slide that foot forward. Arms reach up, coming through our low lunge. And then interlace fingers at the low back. Soft elbows. Maybe the arms become a little bit straighter and you can pull the arms up off of the back to your degree. And then stay here or bend the back knee. Draw that foot in. Grab a hold of the foot or the ankle with one hand or both hands. And then release. We'll bring it back. Hands to the mat. Let's take it into a table and then tuck the toes under. Glide the hips up. Downward dog. Start with a bend in the knees. Find some movement here. Pedaling out legs or bending, straightening knees. And then crouch yourself down, bring belly back to thighs, and then send the right leg up for a three-legged dog. Then bend both knees, and then re-extend both legs. Release that right foot down to the mat. Bend both knees again. We'll send the left leg up. Three-legged dog. Bend both knees. Extend both legs. Release that left foot down to the mat. Walk yourself up to the top of your mat. Let's find a forward fold. Hinging from hips. Bring belly to the thighs. Let the head go. You can bring hands to the mat or grab a hold of elbows. Shake, nod your head. Sway your hips, your arms. Bring it to center. Hands to the hips. Press into your feet. Lift up. Sweep the arms up overhead. Palms come together. Hands to heart. And then reach your arms up. Fold yourself in. Let's bring it halfway up. Ardha Uttanasana. Halfway lift. Hands down to the mat. And we'll step it back into a plank. And from your plank, lower your knees down to the mat. Lower down, pubic bone, belly, torso. Hug elbows in. Lift heart, baby cobra. And then release it down. Let's tuck the toes. Press into your hands, glide your hips up into your downward dog. Step or hop it up to the top of your mat. Let's take that halfway lift again and then fold yourself in. Press into your feet. Come all the way up again. Palms come back down to your heart and then reach the arms up. Fold it back in. Halfway lift. Plant the hands. Step it back into a plank. Lower knees down to the mat. Lower all the way down to the belly. Elbows hug in. Lift it up. Baby cobra or full cobra. Lower yourself down. Press into your hands and we'll send the bum back to the heels, coming into a child's pose. Knees together for this one. And then we'll come back into our Vajrasana. Drop over to one hip. Swing your legs around. We'll bring it back down to the mat. Back down you come, knees bent. Grab a hold of your blocks, have them handy here. We'll use some in a moment, or one of them anyways. Knees bent, arms down alongside the body. Let's take it into a few bridge lifts. So press into your feet, lift up your hips, arms sweep up by the ears as you lift your hips up. And then bring your hips, your sacrum back down to the mat. Again, press into the feet, lift up the hips, lift up the arms alongside the ears, and then lower it back down. Again, press into the feet, lift the arms, lift the hips, and then you can stay here in your bridge. You could keep the arms up here overhead, or maybe you interlace hands under you, maybe scooch the shoulders in a little bit, press the hips up a little bit higher, and you stay here. Or you could take your hands alongside the shoulders if you have wheel in your practice. Press down into the hands and then lift yourself up. Press into the hands, lift the heart. And then slowly begin to lower yourself down. Back of the head comes down. Lower your back body down to the ground. Now grab a hold of your block. Again, we'll press into the feet. Lift the hips up just a little bit this time, not too far. And then tuck the block underneath your sacrum on the low height. And then just allow yourself to relax and feel supported by the block. Find this supported bridge. You could stay here, or you could extend one or even both legs down the mat. You could reach the arms up overhead here. And then walk your feet in. Arms can stay where they are or come back down alongside you. Lift up your feet, line your knees up over your hips, and extend your legs all the way up towards the ceiling, coming into a little supported inversion. And then bend your knees, lower your feet back down to the mat, press into your feet, lift your hips up, lower your hips and your sacrum down to the mat, take your feet wide to the outer edges of your mat, and then sway the knees over to the right, and then bring the knees up through center, sway the knees over to the left, bring the knees back through center, and then sway your knees from side to side a few times. Bring the knees back to center. Extend your legs down the mat, arms out to the side, and again, we'll begin to roll over onto the right side. Send the left leg out to the right side. Reach the left hand and the left foot away from each other, and then sweep that left foot down at that 45-degree angle as you sweep that left arm up, pulling the left hand and left foot away from each other. And then release that. Roll yourself over onto your back. And then we'll roll it over onto left side, right leg reaches out in front of you. And then we'll send that right foot down, a little bit of an angle, right arm reaching up, right hand, right foot reaching away from each other. And then release. Reach the arms and the legs up towards the ceiling, give everything a little shake. And then find your way back into Shavasana. Relax, let go. Thank yourself for showing up for you, for your practice today. Let's bring one hand to heart, one hand to belly, connect in. Notice how you feel. Come back to our intention to be gentle, kind, patient, loving, compassionate with ourselves. And then release your hands. Roll over onto one side. Press yourself up. Find a comfortable seat. Let's bring the palms together at the heart. Thank you very much for sharing this practice with me today with love and gratitude. Namaste.